Forbes India presents Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2023, powered by Indeed.
My name is Satyen Kulkarni, and I head the global TA function for LTIMindtree. I have been in industry for about more than 28 years now, and I'm excited to participate in this discussion with you today. So my career in HR, so to say, started about 10 years back. I was working in US and had to return back to India, and being in the same organization for a long period of time, I was, though I would say I was not technically capable for managing RMG group. I was offered the role of RMG here in India, which I took over. Probably not as excited as I was, because for me, and I'm being very honest with you, I thought it was a back-end role. I was managing client engagements, more of a account forming sales kind of role earlier. I perceived this as a very back-end or a support role. But as I started getting my hands dirty, so to say, I'm a very hands-on person. I started understanding the nuances of this function and the tremendous potential that this function has, the influence that it has on both the top line and the bottom line of this, of any organization, so to say. And that for me was very exciting, because in none of my earlier roles, I had this opportunity to influence at a corporate level. Most of my career has been like, first of all, it's been a very long career. I started way back in 1995 when I graduated from engineering. I did a bachelor's in industrial engineering. Joined Thermax Limited here in Pune. It's an engineering firm. Was interested in materials planning while doing my engineering, so spent 2 years doing materials planning with Thermax. But then, during those days, the Y2K area, you probably would be familiar with. Most of the youngsters were swept into the IT field. They were hiring engineers without any IT knowledge. And, I was one of those guys who sort of left the engineering field to join the IT field. I spent about 3 years with Canbay from 1997 to about 2000 doing software development with them. I was initially a mainframe developer. Then the .com boom happened, where I did some coding in the ASP.NET HTML. To be honest, I was not very good at development. And when the opportunity presented for me to do something again at the organization level, it was the SEPG and the SQA group, the process group, or the quality as it is commonly referred to. I jumped at that, and for the next 4 or 5 years, I spent time in this group developing the processes, mostly the project management related, which was of my interest for the organization. I took the organization through their ISO 9000 certification first. Then it was the CMM level 5 assessments. I was lucky enough to be also part of the assessment team and certified as a lead assessor at that time. During this phase, since I was interested in project management, I was also interested with the responsibility of building the project management capabilities across the organization. So while I got all my senior leaders PMP certified, which was a big task in itself, I personally had to set an example for them. So I got myself PMP certified first. The next couple of years in the RMG, I spent improving more on the the technical aspects of it, improving the reporting function part of it, and then reorganizing the RMG to deliver up to the business expectations, so to say. After a couple of years, the TA function within the Capgemini was being centralized, which means it no longer reported into my business unit, and to ensure that there is same amount of the business continuity and the support that we receive from the shared services. Along with the RMG, I was appointed as the business POC for this TA function. So, in a way, I started managing TA along with the RMG at that time. I gained a lot of experience doing that, and when I decided to move, initially within the LTI, I joined over here back in 2020 as an RMG head. Within 6 months, I was asked to oversee and manage the India TA function. And by April 2021, looking at the impact that I was having, I was entrusted with the responsibility of managing the entire people supply chain globally. And now, post integration, as probably you would be aware, LTI and Mindtree, two large L&T group companies merged into one. We are now LTI Mindtree. In this larger organization, today my remit is that of a global TA head. I think the immediate talent challenge that I see is, during the pandemic period, the digital transformation journey started, and everyone was on a hiring spree, right, driven by the high demand. In the last couple of months, couple of quarters, we are seeing a softness in demand. Yeah, coupled to it, uh, some of the negative news which is coming in the market. If you are aware of the layoffs, the big companies laying off people, really changes the market sentiment. For me, as a talent leader, especially who's managing the TA function, uh, I find that to be a very uh, 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 you know a dangerous sort of thing, because uh, if we don't base our decisions based on facts and get driven by the market sentiment and sway away from our talent strategy, I think we are going to be lagging behind, right? I think we need to think for tomorrow today and not just have a knee-jerk reaction. So that is what I'm working on today. We are focused a lot on manpower planning. It's not that we didn't do it before, but the way we are doing it is, apart from triangulating it with our revenue forecast, there's a lot of focus on looking at the empirical data, building in statistical forecast, not just at the headcount level, but at a practice level, at a skill level, because that's where the hiring decisions happen. We are on that journey right now, not yet completed, while our budgeting cycles are just round the circle. But we are going to keep everyone honest with what is required and not let the hiring engine stop. I think that was my first immediate challenge that I'm trying to solve. The talent war is going to continue, especially when we are looking at hiring the best from the market. These best people are going to have multiple options, and maybe the salaries may not be as astronomical. There won't be a fight on salaries because margins are under pressure today. So there is a need to control the salaries. But everything being at par, the salaries, the benefits, I think what is going to help the candidate choose one company over the other is the experience, the candidate experience, the entire engagement, from the application process to the onboarding process. And we recognize that for us, for an integrated organization, for us to communicate who we are as a brand, our employee value proposition, and if we can have a consistent and a much more improved candidate experience, I think we are going to win this talent war definitely, right? And we are doing all it takes to, even the technology interventions which are required to get us over there. What we have not used very effectively is the social media in the hiring, and I'm talking about us personally here at the LTIMindtree. And this is something which is going to be a focus area for us. We have already started evaluating products and services, having discussions and trying to find partners for it. Our idea is to kind of reach to the younger generation, and the younger generation is more on the FB and the Insta and the Twitters, right? They probably don't check their emails per se. So our attempt is basically to reach out to these passive candidates uh, through the medium which is more comfortable for them. So this is one area that we are looking for. I think the biggest one is the numbers, right? The differentiators. When I inherited this particular team, uh, we were delivering X. Today we are delivering 2.5x of what we used to deliver with with almost just a 20% increase in the team size, right? So, but I don't boast about numbers. Numbers are delivered by my team on the ground. I think the biggest win that I see for myself is when I was having a conversation with my CEO earlier, and he articulated it for me. I'm just going to tell you what what he said. Right? He said the biggest win success of this talent supply chain in my era has been that the business no longer perceives the talent supply chain as just the custodians of the processes or a governance function, but business now approaches talent supply chain, looks up to them as somebody who can solve their fulfillment challenges. And for an organization this large to have a change in perception of this mammoth nature, I consider it to be a really a big win under my belt. To be honest, under the IT gambit, I have played most of the roles that I have ever wanted to. There's nothing left. I really enjoy playing this role, and this has been the longest stint in my career. 10 years. Most of my other assignments have been for 3 years, 4 years. I still find this role to be very challenging. I'm not much for an advisor per se, but if anyone comes to me today and asking me to kind of asking for advice, I think I would advise them a couple of things. One is, uh, don't try to just copy what others are doing uh, for your organization, because our organization culture might be totally different, our business models might be totally different, right? So the lift and shift really doesn't work, so don't try to do it. The second aspect is, do not lose touch with the ground realities, right? Even if you are at a senior level, um, don't create so many layers where you miss out on what's happening on the ground. Stay touch stay connected, and that's where you will really find where the problems really are. The third one is walk the talk, right? I think it's easy to give advice to somebody, or say things, but as a leader, or as a professional, if you can't be your word, right, can't stick to your commitments, then people lose respect for you. So I would rather under commit and over deliver. I cannot sit over here if there are no challenges posed to me. And to be honest, there's a lot to contribute to this body of work. There is a lot to learn over here, in this particular field. I don't think so. I'm done yet for this.
Forbes India presents Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2023, powered by Indeed.